Dr. Kerry Henson, Dr. Somesh Lokesh, Dr. Sam Ramanujan, and Dr. Silvana Faya as well, please. Thank you. We are happy to have all of you here joining us on this momentous occasion. I hope you all had an opportunity to help yourselves to some refreshments and freshen up, and so please feel free to also have some later on as the event rolls by. Thank you for joining us once again, and I would like to request Dr. Mark Suazo, the Dean of Harvard College and Professional Studies, to kickstart this event with his welcome address to all of us here. Yeah, the Dean's office.
Thank you, Prasad. I don't usually use notes for speeches, but I thought I'd use it today because this is such a special event. So on behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of Harvard College, I welcome all of us here. This is a very special day. What I'd like to highlight today is that we're not just celebrating our past accomplishments with this 52nd anniversary. We're looking at the future as well because of this very generous donation from Abhishek Bakira. We thank you so much for your generosity. This is going to take us to the next level, which is what we're really excited about here. I think the thing that a lot of us forget who are here already is how special a program this is. For those of you that are not familiar, we are one of the oldest CIS and analytics programs in the state, and we've received many awards for what we've done, and this obviously leads to the great students you see here today, so we're very excited to have you as well. This will bode well for us in the future, obviously. The thing I'd like to point out, if you don't know much about our program, is that it's the fastest growing master's program in the College of Business, and we're proud to have at least 300 students right now, and we see that to continue to grow. The other thing I want to mention is that another key reason for our growth is that our faculty are constantly looking for ways to improve the program. And one of the biggest is our introduction to the Big Data Analytics program. And we see this as a huge potential for growth in the future. So it's very exciting for us. The thing I'd like to emphasize also is that this is a very unique program, especially at UCM. This is one of the few in the country actually that is STEM certified. It's accredited by ABET, which is the gold standard for technology programs, and also AACSB accredited, which is the gold standard for business. So this is the reason that top employers, we have Fortune 500 companies that recruit our students because they know that our students are getting an education of the highest caliber. So this is very important for us to continue, and we know that under the leadership of Prasad, it will continue. We're very excited to have Prasad. For those of you that don't know, this is his first semester as a chair, and he's doing a great job. Thank you, Prasad. As a testament to what we do in terms of training the students, within 6 months, we can't say 100%, but it's basically 100% of our students are employed. If it's not 100%, it's because they typically go to graduate school. So it's something we're quite proud of in the college, and I, as the new dean, like to brag to everybody I meet on this. So how do we do all of this? There's lots of ways we could address this, but I focused on 2 key issues. Number one is affordability. The University of Central Missouri is fantastic at doing this. We provide scholarships and other financial aid opportunities. If you're not aware of it, we recently released a new program called the Mule Grant Program. I don't want to go into it now, but I encourage you to look at it if you know students that are interested in our program. It can make the difference between them attending or not attending. So we're really encouraging students to be aware of these types of programs. The other thing that we think makes us pretty special is that we're very flexible. We teach the undergraduate program at the Warrensburg campus, and obviously here for the graduate program. So for the graduate students, we not only teach during the day, we teach in the evenings and the weekends, because we know that if we're not flexible, we're not going to be as successful in attracting our working professionals in the region. So we will continue to do that. And of course, none of this would not be happening if we did not have the support of the university, friends of the college and university, and faculty and staff. So at this time, I'd like to recognize the many folks in the room who are here who've gotten us this far. So I'd like to start with President Best, Provost Bridgman, who could not be with us here today, Jackie and Lynn Harmon, who could not be with us here today, and of course our benefactor, Mr. Abhishek Pakira. Thank you again for your generosity. We cannot say enough about that. Sorry, I'm not drinking enough. I was talking to Betsy Kreisel on the way. I'm dehydrated. And of course the faculty, staff, and students, thank you so much for everything that you do. So in closing, what I'd like to say is that I like to brag a lot about this program, and I talk about the importance of our faculty. We can never say enough about our faculty. They are the driving force. They're there on a daily basis. And the thing I think that makes us special is the industry ties that our faculty have. Our full-time faculty have industry ties, and then our adjuncts all work in industry. So our students are learning from the best minds, in the country for that matter, not just the region. Because when I was preparing my speech today, somebody said, it's in the region, and I would disagree. I say it's in the country. So we're very fortunate to have that. The other thing is that our faculty emphasize learning by doing, which is very important. It's not just about book smarts here. And I think that this new lab that we're building is going to take our students to the next level. An unprecedented level of cooperation between industry and the university. And we're extremely excited because our students are now going to learn real-time, real projects while they're being mentored by Aureus employees. So we're very grateful for the new lab, and we look forward to our next 50 years. Thank you.
Dr. Roger Best, who is the president of our university, has been extremely supportive of our programs and several initiatives across campus. I would like to now invite Dr. Roger Best for his address for the university and CIS as well. Thank you.
So what a great day this is for our CIS-A program, so Computer Information Systems Analytics program. But even more so, what a great day this is for the University of Central Missouri. I want to echo what Dean Suazo was just referring to. So for those of you who know me, I've actually been at the university since 1995, so this is year 28 for me. And if you do the math, that means I've been at the university for more than half of the existence of the CIS program. Now, I was not in the CIS program, but when I first got to the university, the program that I was in and CIS actually shared an office suite. So I got to know the faculty and the leadership there very quickly. And what I discovered was exactly what Dean Suazo was saying. You cannot have an exceptional program without exceptional faculty. And if you think about all those things that the Dean referred to, so dual accreditation, programmatic innovation, which you'll hear more about when Dr. Hinson speaks to the history of the program, the notion of how we have seen our alumni go out and do pretty darn good things. And just in terms of their willingness to come back and partner with us, and other organizations willing to partner with us. We don't see all of that activity without exceptional faculty and direct program leadership driving all of that. So I want to say thank you to our faculty that are here today. Thank you to our current and previous leadership of CIS and the great work that you've all been doing in order to make sure that we continue to be that innovative, long-standing, go-to program in the state of Missouri for information systems and analytics. I also want to say a special thank you to our existing and newly found friends at Aureus Tech Systems. When I speak to this programmatic innovation, when you have that sort of approach as a faculty, it naturally goes over to our students, and they begin to feel that same level of innovation, that freedom to innovate, think deeply about problems and solutions to those problems through an information systems and analytics lens. And that's exactly what we've seen with the founding of Aureus Tech Systems, and then the continued innovation and acquisitions that have led it to be the organization that it is today. Specifically to that, I want to recognize Abhishek. So you are here today representing Aureus Tech Systems, but I want to say that from day one, the first day I had a chance to meet Abhishek, now he's an alum, and I didn't really have a chance to get to know him when he was one of our students again. I wasn't on the CIS side, but I had a chance to meet him when I was dean of our college of business and professional studies. And from day one, in describing what he does with Aureus Tech Systems and his approach, he began thinking about ways that they, as an organization, could partner with the University of Central Missouri, and more specifically within our programs, to the benefit of students. And in all the subsequent conversations we've been able to have, he always comes back to that as his premise. What can we do as an organization to benefit the students of this university? How great it is that one of our alumni, as his first thought, thinks about how current students can be made better off through their activities and their actions. Now at the university, we of course want to ensure that we have a symbiotic relationship. And so when we look at this lab that we're onboarding today, the official ribbon cutting, fully believe that that is a symbiotic relationship. It is our hope that Aureus Tech Systems receives great benefit from the lab as well as our students. And again, when you hear from Dr. Henson, you'll see in our history of CIS all these programmatic innovations. I'm fully confident that years into the future, we're going to look back to this day as one of those innovations and one of those difference makers for the CISA program, but also the University of Central Missouri. So let me say thank you again to Aureus Tech Systems and to everyone here representing the company, and to you specifically, and to Shujata, who cannot be here today. We just thank you for continuing to think of us and how you can partner with us to make our students better off. So thank you all for being part of this great day with us. We look forward again to that future history where we look back and think, this was one of those programmatic innovations. This was one of those days that has made a difference for the University of Central Missouri and our students in computer information systems and analytics. So thank you very much for being here. We look forward to the ribbon cutting.
Thank you, President List. I would like to now invite Dr. Kerry Henson to share with us the history and accomplishments of the CIS program in the past 52 years. And Dr. Henson, I'm sure you'll agree with me after he finishes his speech that he would have done a fantastic job of condensing the 52 years into less than 5 minutes. Dr. Kerry Henson.
He's being optimistic. As today we celebrate the future of the computer information systems programs, it's proper to take a few moments to visit the past. This event has been termed, this might be a surprise, a 52nd year anniversary, and in fact, for the 4-year undergraduate BSBA program, it was in place. The coursework was in place in 1970. 1971, the first person who obtained a BSBA degree with a major in what was then data processing graduated. However, a look further back reveals the roots of the data processing program appear in 1962, 60 years ago, in a single business course. Nope. There we are. Sorry. Data processing in business, or data processing in business. You can read the course description there. A lot of that would sound very familiar today if you just change the technology. It's still about finding organizational needs in terms of information, individual needs in terms of information, and addressing those with the technology. Course offerings expanded, and in 1965, a 2-year program in data processing became available. This was the first computer-related program offered by then Central Missouri State College, goes back 2 name changes, and is believed to be one of the first, if not the first, data processing degree in Missouri. This picture is from the course catalog in 1964. In the bottom right-hand corner is an IBM 406 accounting machine. Data was represented by punches in what are called 80-column Hollerith cards. So you've never seen one of these before. The data was placed on here. The logic, in terms of accumulators and counters, if-then logic, was specified with the wiring. I don't know if you can see that wiring board on the picture there. In the top of the picture is an IBM 1620 computer. capable of, it had 16K of memory. And it's capable of assembly language and Fortran programs in those languages. The man in the picture is named John Wilhart, and he came to the university, not sure when, in the 60s sometime, and is credited with beginning the program. Larry Wintermeyer came soon after and helped with the program, and then Mel Franz and Jane Bucks arrived, and they really drove the program, the undergraduate program, for the next 20 to 30 years. So they were there for quite a while. Also, Bill Garber was instrumental in getting the internship program started, and that was a big part of the program. Some things that happened along the way. In 2002, the undergraduate program moved away from COBOL and began to introduce Java and Visual Basic. The networking track was introduced soon after, and then, of course, the degrees in big data and business analytics, as well as enterprise resource planning, have been created. At the graduate level, IS track was introduced in the MBA in 1998, and then in 2000, in response to what was identified for the University of Central Missouri as its statewide mission. All the universities across the state did that, but we were identified as the technology school for the state. In response to that, the MSIT came to be. After that, the program name changed, and then you see in 2018, additional MS program was introduced in data analytics and information technology as well. Recognition comes in a lot of different ways, I think, for any program. One of the ways is with students. And over the years, students have competed at the national level in terms of the programming. AITP used to run, does not anymore, used to run a national competition. 3 years running in the late 90s, the CIS program began to run the show. COBOL was king, and we were king of COBOL during those years. That continued even as the program began to change its focus away from COBOL and to other languages. You begin to see success in both COBOL as well as Java in 2007 and 2016, which was the last year that AITP had the competition. Students in VisualBasic.net won the national competition. Lots of graduates have done well as they've left university. Mr. Pereira will speak in a few minutes, and he certainly has been successful in his endeavors, but there have been others as well. Richard Pomeliner, I think that's how you pronounce his name, graduated in the early 80s and joined a startup company, Jason Block will appreciate that, called Cerner. He obtained a single-digit employee number, and that's pretty significant. Other graduates rose to top IT management positions at major employers. This would be like Gary Turner at Kansas City Power and Light, Eddie Van Campernoll at Sprint. Pictured here are Luke and John Stevens, who started a company called OSI. They eventually sold that, and Fruit Capon as well, started InTouch Solutions. Very successful companies. As mentioned before, 95, the College of Business was accredited by AACSB, and then in 2012, the CIS program, undergraduate program, was accredited by ABET in Information Systems. And that means there's somebody that's coming and looking at this program, two groups of somebodies. That doesn't happen very often. In 2012, when the CIS program was accredited by ABET, it was one of about a dozen programs in the entire country that had this dual accreditation, both from the business side as well as the technical side. And that is, it still remains one of the very few that meet that standard. I think anytime you talk about the success of a program, an applied program like this, it really comes down to, well, what happens to the students when they graduate? Dean mentioned virtually 100% placement. Well, where do they go? Where do they go? Take a moment and look at the screens and see where they've gone. You'll have to look fast. Have to look fast. Indeed, literally thousands of students have graduated with information systems degrees from UCM, which have enabled them to pursue challenging careers, contribute to businesses, organizations, and society, as well as improve their own economic status and that of their families. And of that, we should be proud. In closing, allow me to encourage alumni and administration to continue to provide facilities and technology for the CIS programs. Encourage faculty to continue updating your knowledge and skill sets. I know that's hard work. And most of all, I want to encourage the current students to take advantage of the technology that's available to you, of the faculty that are here, as you continue your lifelong learning endeavors, so that in 40 or 50 years, when there's another group that meets like this, they can look back and say, you know what? They did well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Henson. So this UCM Aureus Tech Systems Alliance Lab, what we now have here today for the ribbon cutting ceremony, did not happen by chance. It was a carefully planned effort by one individual primarily, who decided that he wanted to give the next incoming folks a lot of work and to raise the bar in the future as well. And I would like him to come and share his experience and how this formation came into existence now. Dr. Someshwar Kesh.
Hello. Easier to talk when I move around. This artificial intelligence lab was born out of not something artificial, but true love. So about 20 years back, and till recently, I taught a course on data communications and distributed data processing. There were two sections of that. One being offered in Warrensburg in the morning, and the other being offered over in Lee Summit. We were in another building at that time. Sujata, the CEO of the company, was in my morning class. Abhishek, the CEO of the company, was in my evening class in Lee Summit. For a long time, I could not figure out why Abhishek would stand religiously outside my class in the morning in Warrensburg, and I thought there's only one conclusion. My lectures are so good that he did not have enough of it and he wanted to listen to it again. Okay? But life teaches you lessons. And I realized soon after that was so wrong. In fact, the lectures were probably so boring that Abhishek and Sujata were seeking solace in each other's company. And out of that, okay, was born Aureus Tech Systems, okay, 3 kids, okay, and the AI lab over here, okay. So, for this lab, I give full credit to the dullness and boringness of my lectures altogether. But then, we've always kept in touch. So when Aureus became one of the fastest growing companies in the US, they were being honored in Desert Springs, California. Abhishek invited me. I went there. I was so happy, so proud. You know, it's really a great moment when you see your students achieve this much. But that was not the end of it. After that, their pictures were all over, guess where? In Wall Street. Okay? And when I saw that, I was truly, truly emotional. You cannot believe the pride you feel when you know that your students have not only created a successful company, they are now part of America's Most Wanted. In the good sense of the word. Okay. So we have always kept in touch. And then when President Best was the dean of the college, I had spoken to him about Aureus Tech, and he said, you know, no good deed shall go unpunished. Well, those were not exactly his words, but I think that's what he thought. So he did get in touch with them, and then Abhishek and Sujata, who were willing to contribute, came up with this idea of supporting students through graduate assistantships, through creating a lab. Here's what really made everything work. The shared vision of UCM that we need to do something for the students, for the faculty, and for the community. And Abhishek's idea of democratization of technology, they fit so well together that that's the product that you really see today. So it is not just that original love that I talked about, it is this love that they have for the community and for the society is what brings it all together. Okay? Thank you.
All of you have heard so much about Aureus Tech Systems today, and so much is going on in the AI space. I would like to now invite Mr. Abhishek Bakira, Chief Operating Officer of Aureus Tech Systems, to deliver the keynote address. Mr. Abhishek.
Thank you so much, esteemed professors, Dr. Best. It's an honor and a privilege to be standing here this afternoon. After Dr. Kesh's address, I just tough to better that and say anything meaningful or fruitful, but I'll try my best. So I look at all the students here today. It has been 21 years that I set my foot here at the UCM campus. And the first job that I had here was a job at a technology lab. And when I had that job at a tech lab, the expectation of me was that I would create some programs and do some networking work for them. When I say program, these are code that I had to write and deploy so that people can use the programs at the university. So I was decently good in programming. Dr. Sam might have some things to say about that, but I was decently good in programming, and I thought it would be good for me to create something that people can use. So my professor at the time, he came and said that you need to create a program that helps professors understand how the enrollment behavior is happening and the churn around enrollment. So that was my job. So when I put the program together, when I built it and I said, okay, this is the program. And my professor said, okay, now what? I said, okay, that's my job. I've done my job. This is the program, and now figure out how to use it. And he said, that's not how value is created. For value creation, you need to figure out how to write the program, how to create a virtual private network, and how to deploy so someone can use the program. And that's where my fear of failure started coming in, because I only knew how to write a program. That's it, right? So with that, he said, it's okay to fail, and it's okay to try. So when you try, you will fail a few times, and then you'll be successful, because you can only learn through failure. So that's when I, a few weeknights and a few weekend nights, and then I figured out from professors, from other colleagues, students, on how to put that entire thing together. The key learning for me was connecting the dots. So two things I really learned is to have a growth mindset, which is you need to always be learning, know how to connect the dots, and figure out how to create real value for people that are going to use your product or a solution. So that was my first experience in a lab, and which is why it's very, very important that when we are putting together a solution or a lab solution here, we understand why and how a lab really helps students. After that experience, it was pretty foundational for me, that lab experience here at UCM. In addition to all the academic experience, that lab experience was very foundational. Then we, a lot of people when they talk about startups, they think Silicon Valley. And Dr. Henson rightly showed some of the pictures of past students that have done amazing startups. The one picture that you guys saw of Luke Stevens and John Stevens, I was very fortunate to join that startup here in Missouri. It was a true David and Goliath story. We were the David, and there was companies in the Silicon Valley who were the Goliaths. So it was very important for us to work hard in an honest way and see how we can create value so that the customers or the market or the problems that we were solving, the people look past that we are not a Silicon Valley team, but we are a team from here in Missouri who can solve big market problems. And we got a lot of different kinds of comments because, as you know, Silicon Valley is championed across the U.S. media, but not a lot of startups from Missouri get that kind of attention in Missouri. And some of the comments that we heard was we were a small team, we were inexperienced, we did not put a lot of thought into what we do, and we said, okay, fast forward, that company, as Dr. Henson mentioned, sold, and they were very successful. And the reason we were very successful at the time was we were small but young and very high energy team. We were extremely high energy. We were agile. We knew the power of iteration. That's extremely important because you do not know the end product that you're going to present to the market unless you iterate. Just anybody has done any project, whether you do your kitchen at home or whether you're doing any project, you do not know the end state on day one. The power of iteration is extremely important when you're doing any solutioning in the tech space or any other space. So that's one thing that I really learned through my experience in that startup. After that, I did my MBA from the University of Chicago at Booth School of Business, one of the top 3 programs in the US. And one of the things that after that, when we conceptualized our startup, one of the things that was very important to me was to see how do we have innovation with a purpose. Innovation with a purpose is extremely important because innovation, money and fame will always be a byproduct. If the purpose is right and it's in the right place for solving the key problems that as a society we face, then everything else follows. So the purpose was very important for us. And I look back to a correlation. If you look at my articles on Forbes, if you look at my articles on the various national magazines, you will see that I talk about serverless cloud computing quite a bit, which is the foundation of this lab as well. And serverless cloud computing is very important change and innovation that American companies have brought in here, and I want to talk about that a little bit today. So, if you see the world has been in its present form 4 billion plus years now. We're in the half-life of this world. As recent as 400,000 years back, Homo sapiens, or another form of our ancestors, actually figured out how to domesticate fire. domesticating fire was extremely important for us in Lighting because that became a multiplier effect for us. When we domesticated fire, we figured out how to digest food easier so that we can take a lot of our energy and focus on our brain's evolution. And that's what led to what is called as the cognitive revolution, which later on led to agriculture and industrial revolutions. So that one innovation led to a lot of course, efficiencies at the time because people could gain a lot of efficiencies with fire. It became a multiplier effect. But the long-term effect was fantastic for us at Levy. Serverless cloud computing is extremely important for the future of innovation because this is where we are able to use a lot of the foundational Lego blocks that companies like Microsoft, AWS, and Google have created. And we are able to use that and see how we can make people's lives better. That's extremely important when we are keeping innovation in mind. With that, I'll give you an example of one of the work that we are doing, and I will talk about our product, Anvesa, which is a flagship product for us, and it serves the litigation and insurance marketplace. And one of the things that we wanted to do with litigation is that we wanted to make sure that the cost of litigation comes down 10x in America, so that the cost of insurance comes down and people can get faster trials at court, people can get better insurance rates. Because insurance is expensive in America because of the cost of litigation. It's directly correlated. And we wanted to head-on tackle that root cause so that once we tackle that root cause, then everything else has a ripple effect and we can create value for everybody. So with that, I will quickly introduce the team that we have here. I will introduce Shannon Reed from Aureus Tech. She is the VP of our Anvesa product line and conceptualized the product Anvesa. With us, we have Peter Razzi, who is a litigation attorney and also our in-house litigation support lead within Shannon's organization. I would like to introduce Devjit Kantilal, DK. He leads our insurance practice globally. He's had several CIO roles before joining Aureus. I would introduce Aryan. Aryan is not in our team right now, but he is my son, who is the fruits of the labors are that Dr. Cage talked about. And we have Arun Dushakanti, who is also a UCM graduate and a very important member of the Aureus family. So with that, very excited to be a part of the journey, and thank you so much everyone for this opportunity.
Thanks, Abhishek. We weren't sure that Aryan is going to be here, but we came prepared. Kailash Kemp is here from admissions to recruit students, prospective students, so that the history can be repeated one more time with something bigger and better. Thank you. So we now move on to the ribbon cutting ceremony. The lab would not be able to accommodate the entire audience we have in this room. So kindly be seated here, and while we have the leadership team go ahead and complete ribbon cutting. After that, all of you will be able to have a chance to go into the lab and take a look at the demonstration videos which are available, and also if you have any questions, Aureus Tech Systems will be there to answer any questions that you may have. With that, we will be back here. We will assemble here in a few minutes' time. And of course, all the pictures and photographs and so on will be available for sharing later, and we will share them with you. We will be back here in this hall in a few minutes. created without keeping in mind the interest and the needs of the students. Likewise, this Aureus and UCM and Aureus Tech Systems lab as well. So we would like to hear from students. As this lab was being conceptualized and being built, the word was going around and students were being made aware that we will soon have an AI lab in conjunction with our big data analytics program, and they will get to use it as soon as it's been inaugurated and we complete the ribbon cutting. So now we have a few students who have been excited to speak about how the lab may be useful to them and so on. So I would like all of you to hear it from them rather than we pass the printouts or publicity material around. The first one whom I'd like to invite is Tanushree Haldar.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, congratulations to all of us, the UCM family, for achieving this amazing feat today. So my name is Tanushree and I have joined UCM in this fall semester as a student of Big Data Analytics and IT. So I come with a 10 years experience in IT industry as a product owner. So it's a total business role. So my role mostly demanded me interacting with business stakeholders, collecting the requirements and playing it back to the technical team. So one fine day I thought that what is on the other side? So there's this black box of technical things. So what does this developer do? I just need to know that. So although I made up my mind, but I had to find the right course to live my dream. So that's how I got introduced to UCM's course of Big Data Analytics and IT, which, let me tell you, is a wonderful blend of not only the technicalities and tools to implement big data, but it has a lot of business relevance. It has a lot of use cases, the curriculum uses all the real world case studies to make us industry ready in a way. So I won't be lying to say that I didn't have inhibitions in my mind. I had a lot. So I was really worried that how will I kind of match with other techies probably who will be joining this course. But I would really like to give a big shout out to our professors who wonderfully start from the scratch. So they cover the elementary level. So they kind of help you to grow with your knowledge curve in the growing direction. So thank you for that, and now with this lab coming in place, we are sure that we will be, whatever we were going in the class, we will have an opportunity to do that hands-on. So yeah, keep growing, grow big. Thank you.
Sami, also from the master's program.
Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to everyone, and my name is Samir Krishna. I'm in Masters of Science in CIS and IT program, and I'm currently a graduate assistant, and I'll be helping the students of bachelor's and masters who need an extra academic help. So when I came to masters in UCM, in the information systems, my target and my aim was to achieve the practical knowledge, the hands-on, and the exact essence of programming which I have missed back home in India in my work experience, frankly. So, and UCM, its curriculum, and the whole round of courses, it actually provides that kind of exact enhancement and enrichment of the computer science and information systems education to all the students. So this master's program in CIS, it has given me that hands-on, that exact hands-on guidance which I wanted, and it helped me to excel in the subject. And that is what I was expecting in the first place when I came to this program. Education in UCM, CIS programs, it just feels like the complete, well-rounded experience of all the things you need in the information systems. The fun and satisfaction which I was expecting in the work experience back home in India, that I'm already experiencing here in UCM while pursuing my masters. So on this note, I'd like to thank each and every person who is the part of UCM and CIS for the rigorous yet the fun-filled curriculum and the system. And I believe the Aureus AI lab, it is going to be one more addition to enhance our great learning experience and the learning curve. As a part of CIS and analytics family, I proudly wish you everyone a happy anniversary, happy 52nd. Thank you very much.
Sayali Gujade, also one of our graduate assistants.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon to one and all. It's a great privilege for me to speak to you all on this occasion of 52nd anniversary of CIS. And it gives me an immense sense of pride to know and to think that in a few months from now I'll be graduating from this great university. So when I started my IT career a few years back, I knew there is much more to explore for me as an individual and as a professional. And as I continued to learn new skills, I knew that the thought should be there to be better prepared for the future experiences. So when I started to think, okay, I have to move to the next level in my career, I knew I need a better foundation in order to experience the better skills and technical aspects. So at that time, I got to know about the CIS coursework at UCM, and it perfectly fit in with my needs, with the varied courses it had, and it showed me the aspect of technical as well as the management related stuff to it. So I get to learn a lot each day here, and the hands-on labs which we get through professors, they add a great advantage in keeping the coding skills sharp and also help in improving the problem-solving skills. At the same time, however, I feel by far the best part has been the ease with which we are able to approach to all the professors with our doubts. They are always available and they are ready to help whatever doubt we go with to them. And moreover, they provide the keen insights onto the ongoing trends in the current IT industry. And I feel that gives the better perspective and the broader sense of knowing the current trends, which will be very helpful to each one of us. And I feel very confident that these learning experiences will help me for sure and to the future students as well. Thank you so much.
The next student is a very interesting student for us, Riley Corbett, who's having an ambitious plan to come back to UCM as a probable faculty later.
Hi everybody, my name is Riley Corbett and I am a senior here at the University of Central Missouri, majoring in Big Data and Business Analytics. So I had kind of an untraditional route compared to my colleagues when choosing my major. I transferred schools as a sophomore, so I came to the University of Central Missouri my sophomore year and from Mizzou. And I was a pre-occupational therapy major at Mizzou, and when I decided to transfer, I decided to switch my major. And I remember scrolling through the course catalog, or the major catalog here at UCM and seeing Big Data and Business Analytics. And I have a love for science and statistics and business, and that is how I chose the Big Data major. After my first semester at UCM in my new major, I was very confident in my decision to pursue this major. This major has taught me so much more than just programming. I have been able to learn the basics of finance, economics, business management, while also being able to get very familiar with the various types of programming in computer science. This has benefited me tremendously as I get ready for my full-time career in the CIS field. As someone who had never taken a computer science class until my sophomore year of college, my computer science background was very minimal, but the amazing CIS faculty and staff at UCM ensured that I would walk away with a very meaningful knowledge and experience that comes from computer programming. The new Aureus lab here at MIC will be a tremendous step forward for past, present, and future UCM students. We will have the opportunity to learn about artificial intelligence and grow in our field in ways that other students aren't able to experience. Especially in a cutting-edge subject such as artificial intelligence, the opportunities for us will be endless. Thank you.
Abhishka Krishna Kumar.
Good afternoon. My name is Abhishka Krishna Kumar. I am in my sophomore year of my bachelor's program in Big Data and Business Analytics. I chose Big Data because it meets my interest in developing real-world problem solving and decision making. The program offers a great value to students because of the quality of the program and the importance of Big Data and Business Analytics in the job market. What I enjoy the most about the program is the friendly and healthy collaboration between us students and the amazing professors we have at UCM. The professors are super approachable and always make sure that their students excel at everything. As soon as my first semester started, I realized that everyone in the department are truly excited to help and support each other in whichever way possible. I think the AI lab is a great opportunity to us students because of the hands-on experience we will have to it. I look forward to learning a lot more from the rest of my undergraduate program. Thank you.
Akash Madala.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Just doing a vibe check. Is everybody doing okay? Awesome. Good. Well, hello and a very warm welcome to everybody. My name is Akash Mandala, and I currently work as a graduate teaching assistant for the course CIS 1600, which is Business Information Management. And although I was a very average student for most of my schooling and my undergrad courses, I started working for big tech companies like IBM and Amazon. And it wasn't until this exposure to the job environment for this field that I decided that I would need to pursue my master's. So all of these sleepless nights of constant research for that perfect balance of internet technologies and business management course, my vision narrowed down to the CIS and IT program offered by UCM. The experienced faculty and the attractive scholarships gave me a sense of confidence to finally get that master's degree from a reputed American college university. So I did. And this unique program by UCM prepares one for technological innovations and challenges in the 21st century. Now, essentially, this course taught me all the necessary technologies and languages for a prosperous career in the field of CIS and IT. And in a world of data that we live in right now, when we most needed the right infrastructure, I thank UCM and I thank Aureus Tech Systems and all my professors and counselors for providing the Big Data Lab to me and my fellow students. I wish you all a prosperous year at UCM and the coming years. Thank you so much, everybody.
We are now at the penultimate agenda item for today, and I would like to have Dr. Someshwar Kesh present a memento to both Dr. West and Abhishek Pakira.
This is for you. It says University of Central Missouri celebrating 52 years of excellence in higher education, computer information systems and analytics, and dedication of the UCM Aureus Big Data Artificial Intelligence and Analytics Lab, 21st October 2022.
Thank you. I accept this on behalf of my wife, Sajata, and the entire Aureus family. And I also want to recognize Uncle, so Sajata's uncle and my uncle, Dr. Bhattara, is also present here. So thank you so much.
I would like to now invite Professor Luan Alfaya to present a memento to our Dean, Dean Suazo, and also one to Dr. Kreisel, our Associate Dean. Sam Ramanujan, I request you to present a memento to Dr. Tim Crowley, our Vice Provost. For many of you who have been standing here watching the slides, you might have come across a slide there which speaks about someone at GitHub. So I'd like to now invite Blake DeBray, one of our advisory board members, who's been a strong supporter of the CIS program and also one of our alums. Carolyn Drilling has been here was here at the UCM Foundation and has substantially contributed to this effort as well. I would like Dr. Ramanujan to present one for Carolyn as well. We do have mementos with us, and we will directly reach them, several of them to Aureus Tech Systems and to several faculty offices at UCM admissions, foundations, and several faculty offices and staff and so on, including Rick's office and all his staff over here, Laurel Hogue, who is also here, Vice Provost. We directly have mementos delivered. With that, we come to the final and the last item, which is me offering thanks to all of you here. And words are not enough to say thank you. All of you have contributed a lot. The list of names is very long. It runs across the entire UCM. So I would like to just say thank you, UCM, and thank you, CIS. Thank you, everyone. All students, all faculty, staff, thank you very much. I hope you will be here with us for the future in this journey as well, in creating one of the best programs on campus. CISA has an ambitious growth plan in mind, and today, as Dr. Henson mentioned earlier in the speech as well, that we hope that others who look at us 50 years hence will surely appreciate that a seed was planted today for future growth in one of the best programs in education, in technology, in CIS, AI, and so on. Thank you. Thank you for attending and taking your time off on a Friday afternoon. The lab is open for demos, and please feel free to go around and have a demo of the lab and watch the videos and ask questions and try to learn as to how the AI lab can be of use to any of you as well. we welcome all of you to hang around us and spend time. Thank you for taking your time off on a Friday afternoon, and thanks Dr. Best, Dr. Suazo, Dr. Kreisel, Dr. Crowley, and all of you attending and making this event a grand success. Thank you very much. Dr. Kesh has
Nobody ever thanks themselves. Professor Prasad Udramani did a great job in terms of putting all of this things together. So thank you very much. That was absolutely wonderful.
As I mentioned before, this is not a one-man show. There are several of us involved. Dr. Parvastu, Dr. Rajkumar, several faculty, several staff. Rick has been here constantly with us. The foundation has been here with us, helping us on a regular basis, on frequent intervals. Admissions office is here with us. The office from Chris Lang have deeply supported us. In fact, they have sent out the information on this event with our invite and the agenda and so on to every community college and high school in the state of Missouri, informing them of this event. And we hope that will help in spreading the word around about UCM's high quality programs and how much we can contribute to the student community and society in general. So thank you everyone.
Thank you for all the students who volunteered.
Yeah, thank you for all our students as well. Yes, absolutely. We will ever be grateful for that. There's one thing I wish to add. We didn't invite anyone sitting in the back row to speak. That's because Dean Swazer gave us a hint that his throat was running dry. But please understand that the ones who are seated in the back row are the drivers who help us make this program so good and so successful. Dr. Kreisel, entire Harman College of Business, Dr. Sam Ramanujan and Dr. Silvana Faya are our program coordinators for the graduate and the undergraduate programs. And it is all their efforts which drives us to do many things which we do. So thank you.
I was going to put it at the video.
OCR, which is optical
Character recognition.
Thank you. Yeah. So, in this industry, let me show you this, just to follow up on your complete the circle on your question. See here in the viewer, there's the image viewer. This is OCR. Let me make this bigger so you can see it more about it. So this is the OCR rendition of this document. I always go to the native, well, great, I went to one that doesn't have the native. Usually, this is the demo account. We'll always make the native can be available. So standard in the industry is to tell lawyers, hey, you can use the OCR, it's really great, and it works faster, and you can interact with it. But it's always good to have your natives there as well. Especially when you start talking about Excels. Because Excel's spreadsheets you really need to see in the native. This was an issue we had in the legal field for a long time. Just imagine a huge spreadsheet where it's an image where it's, you know, page, 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 page. It's just cutting up the spreadsheet, and you have to do redactions. It's labor intensive. But yeah, you always want to have the natives. And this is the extracted text. So this is what the keyword search runs on, are these extracted texts. So these are e-discovery platforms always offer an image extracted text and a native viewer. And then every document has a word cloud as well, for example. So every document does that little algorithm in the background.
Is OCR related to computer vision? Is it same?
I think computer vision also has
image
an OCR.
recognition thing. So
Yeah, OCR is a general term. Not only this industry, every industry uses it actually. Yeah.
And OCR started probably in the 90s when people stopped doing litigation with boxes and paper and started using
it's
computers.
beyond the realms of AI, but now
Yeah.
it seems.
Yeah. So for instance, like Shannon, she's back there. This is her product. She started in this business scanning documents. You know what I mean? To be put into a computer, right? So that's where it starts. But we have moved from there. But this product is sort of like her years of experience and taking bits from different platforms that she liked and didn't like, right? And again, what's really cool about being natively built in the cloud, you can create things, and it's amazing. You're like, hey, let's do this, and all of a sudden 3 months later, 2 months later, you're looking at a mock-up. You know, the rate of development and iteration is so fast. So we thrive on client feedback. We build features for clients. I'll just give you one quick example. Like this feature is something we built because a client asked for it, and we can do that. No one else can. Look, other platforms you can request features. Yeah, right. They might get to it in a year, 2, 3, never, right? We can actually turn stuff around like this in a matter of months. So he just wanted a place where he could stick documents or video files in boxes associated to dates, right? A deposition, I got a team meeting here, you know what I mean? It's just a way to organize his life, right? Because what I keep trying to tell people in the company is for lawyers, time is more valuable than money, right? When you make everything lawyers don't want to do any of the things, right? So.
Is the data then siloed by client and compartmentalized? Or is there things that kind of bleed through or shared between cross clients?
No, it's totally compartmentalized.
Yeah. So the AI engine, everything, it's all
yes.
self-contained.
Very, yes. Yep. Although people within a case can share information with each other, save searches or whatever, within the platform.
And within
nothing
their case, nothing.
Yeah.
We are not clubbing, 2 different clients, 2 different cases.
So,
one client, 1 case. It doesn't go out at all.
So when I go to my saved searches, if I just click on this, it's going to bring up, boom, and then I can select anyone who has permission to the case. You know what I mean? So there's no downloading documents, attaching to an email, sending an email. We don't do that. Nothing leaves your case. Right?
So what do you anticipate students doing with this lab? How is this related to what they will be doing?
Yes,
or
this is actually. So for example, Peter was talking about a roadmap, right? Let's say we get a new feature request from the client actually, and that is related to an AI and big data, AI analytics. So we would like the students that we train here, especially the GAs, we are starting with 1 or 2 GAs first, and we would like to train them on our product and our other technologies actually, and have them do some research around these particular topics, big data analytics. Give them what do you call real-time industry experience before they graduate actually. Right.
We have a development list that's really long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we can't get to everything just due to resources.
Yeah.
I got you.
Because we actively take feedback from not only current clients, but prospective clients. We'll take their feedback equally weighted.
So the goal will be to have students resolve some of those requests.
Sorry.
And then research papers too,
Yeah.
around the new technology that we are researching. So that would be one of the initiatives.
Okay.
Yeah. So being an alumni of the same university, I graduated 2010 actually from, I did my master's in CIS back then. So professors were really great, answering all the questions that I had. It was very new to understand, the technology. We were being taught network concepts and the internet technologies back then. It was mostly, reading through the book and doing some lab sessions there. When I graduated, I felt, these kind of programs, if it was in the university where I could know what an industry need is and what they are doing in the real world, it would have really helped me when I started my job. So we wanted to, bring that perspective before the students, graduate. So this program gives them the ability to go through the process there.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And it won't just be legal, like I said, like we said, we also are in the pharmaceutical and reinsurance industries.
So that backlog of things to be done is sort of genericized to where essentially, obviously there's nothing proprietary that people are working on or necessarily interacting with, but they can then, I guess, proof of concept elements of things that need to get done.
POCs.
You got it.
That's where we start with test data, will not, because for us to, present anything, there should be a lot of NDAs, MSAs in place to even get there, right? So yes, absolutely, POCs is where we start.
So as part of democratizing the whole technology, it's not just the price point and the free support, it's also the ability of what do you want?
what works for you, right? And being able to develop it quickly. Yeah.
And also to your questions, we had a high school intern a couple years ago, and the video player that y'all just had, he did the proof of concept for that before he graduated high school.
So I was
And then
asking-
we moved on from there and just kind of looked at it and ran.
I have a big group of high school students that would be looking for real-world problem things to work on, but probably bite-sized enough that they could make meaningful progress on.
It occurs to me that faculty might also be interested in working with students here and then, publishing academic papers about their achievements.
Yeah, that's one of the curriculums that we are putting together with this initiative. So yeah, so I'll be closely working with the faculty and the students that would be working with this program actually. So we have a curriculum for that.
So the expectation from student is mostly around the POC implementation, or it may be some feature ideas coming from them, and kind of features that they see can be valuable for the tool.
So it will be mostly revolving around the research and the proof of concepts.
So you're saying implementation?
Implementation, yeah, but especially on the POC side. But the feature request would be coming from our retail product. Yeah.
She has the final say as
Yes.
to what gets developed.
He's the boss.
It's her baby, I'm just the cool uncle.
Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you. It was quite informative. Thank you.
For coming.
Appreciate it.